Hello and welcome everyone. Just making sure everything is live and we're good to go. I hope you're doing great. Welcome. Welcome in, I suppose. How you doing? Okay, so I'm glad you're here. We made it. It's almost New Year's. New Year or New Year's? I don't know. So yeah. So today, once again, hi everyone, welcome. I'm Angela, just a lady on the internet willing to take this journey with you. We're just tonight's supposed to be a quiet, chill, celebratory evening. So tonight the goal is not, we're not like goal setting. It's more of a we are here and we are living type of evening. So nothing to prove here. We're not trying to, well, we're always trying to better ourselves, I think, a little bit, but we're not trying to overly, correct or better ourselves in learning something new type of way, but we're here to be like, we are here, we are living, we made it through another year. So I think a lot of people are exhausted right now, including myself. The holidays hit me. I already knew I was kind of like, I'm a little sensitive to stress, and I'm a little perfectionist who tries to be an overachiever and kind of has all or nothing mentality. There's a lot to unpack, and that's stacked there. But I knew, I thought going into December, we could do this. We've been doing it. It's fine. Apparently, it was not fine. Um, so then I had to take a step back and give myself grace, just like I advocate for other people to give themselves grace and things like that. I had to be like, ooh, I need to take a break. So yeah, last week we didn't have a live. I don't think we had a game night either. But just heads up, the lives will be a rolling every Tuesday at 7 p.m. And this game night won't be Thursday because that's New Year's Day, but on this January 2nd, Friday at 7 p.m., we'll be playing part 2 of Coffee Talk. So that should be fun. It's pretty chill. I don't drink coffee, and it's been great. Learning about coffee, running a coffee shop, cool. So as I said, a lot of people are exhausted right now, including myself, but I'm here, we're showing up, we're doing it, that's what matters in life. Showing up is almost like 90% of it sometimes. So some people may feel disappointed, some people may feel relieved right now, some people may even feel a little numb, and all of that is okay. You are feeling what you are feeling, and that is totally cool, totally fine. Yeah, so welcome, and if you're watching this now or later on after the live is already done, feel free to comment either in the chat or comment, I guess, down below. What's one word that describes what this year felt for you, what it felt like? Personally, for me, it was definitely new. I started doing the YouTube, started going live as I had, like I said, I have procrastination issues, I have overachiever issues, I have an all or nothing mentality that I'm trying to fix. But in that, I was like, we're just going to go live. We're just going to do it. I'm going to do my best. So I tell my daughter every day, just do your best. And then, yeah, just showing up and doing the work, and we'll learn and grow together. D. Nicoletti says everything is fine. LOL. Yes, chaos. All right. Some people, yeah. Me personally, yeah, I'm feeling a little relieved. I'm feeling a little exhausted, but we're going, surviving and thriving. If that can happen at the same time, it's happening. So yeah, I hope you're doing great wherever you are and whatever you're doing, and that this year has felt like, I don't want to say it is what it is in the sense of like nothing negative. It's just the reality of life, and that you're still here. We're still here together, and we're making our way through all this, be it whatever crazy business is happening out there in the external world, and then what other healing or active resolve may be happening in your internal world or in your internal world, I guess your home life, the people you actually interact with on a regular basis and things like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna write how I've felt in this past year. And if I spell it wrong, well, then I spell it wrong because I'm doing my best. So yes, I've been feeling exhausted and relieved. How interesting is that? So let's talk about small wins, and not in the like social media, Instagram, internet type of wins, but in the reality of what, a small win. These aren't necessarily Instagram wins. They're not something you're going to post on Facebook or TikTok and make a thing out of it, but they're things that helped keep you going. And I think one of the things that helped me keep going is knowing that every week with the lives in particular, you show up, I show up, and I'm just like, woo, we did it, go team. Anytime any people in the chat are talking and giving feedback, that's a win. From one person to 5 people to 12, it's thank you very much. But also the things that help me keep going are like just those normal little things. I always have a problem, like I said, all or nothing mentality. So I had to learn to take a step back and see every day for itself. I couldn't plan. Now, doing YouTube, you kind of do have to learn to plan and organize. But I couldn't just look at things 3 months ahead or a month ahead. I had to really focus in and be like, okay, we're going to finalize this and we're going to make a little like roadmap calendar of where we're going. But then we're going to zoom out completely and just do day by day, week by week. And like when it comes to like social media posting, I learned literally day by day. Like we're not going to stress out about, weeks in advance or doing things like that. So I think for me, that's one of the things that helped me slowly but surely keep going is looking at things like in the smallest level, like day by day, like what makes that day a win. For me, that may be doing my morning mobility stuff or, doing a morning walk, getting enough water. Hope you're hydrated because that's important as well. So maybe that's the same for you. Like in the sense of the wins that nobody applauds, the wins that seem like you just drink enough water, like that's what people need to do. But hey, not all of us get enough water, and that's important to know. So even a win that's on your scale may not be on a win on somebody else's scale. Feel free to share that in the chat. Yeah, so for me personally, drinking enough water is a big win for me. It's no surprise if any of you have been watching this for a while, know that I have PCOS, so I have like insulin resistance, weight loss is super hard, all this other hormonal stuff. So I am on semaglutide, Wegovy. And one of the problems with that is slower digestion, including water. And so I'm a girl who likes her water because I like to stay hydrated, but it's really hard when you have to like figure out the right ratio of getting water and then eating and your stomach processing all that since a slower digestion issue. So that's been a struggle for me. So on a day where I at least get like 40 ounces of more of water, I'm like, we did it, go team. And it's been shown. Getting a little, the wrinkles are showing up here a little bit more pronounced because I'm dehydrated, because obviously you need more than 40 ounces of water. You need more like 60, 80 ounces of water. But small wins, the things that nobody applauds, but hey, it counts. They always count. Danielle states, I feel like a winner when I make my meals early, and when I'm hungry, I don't have to prepare it and I can just go eat. Yes, something I've noticed. I learned that too about myself. Maybe it's something you who are watching, or something you've also learned, is that low blood sugar is a thing. At a certain point of not eating, you can get a little hangry or impatient and end up eating candy, fast food, drinking like soda or something else that probably wasn't the best option, but you were getting hangry. You felt that you needed to eat something now, and that's what it was available. So like planning little things like that, even if it's just like you shove some crackers in your bag, and so you at least had 5 crackers on the way home. So when you got home, you can make a better decision for yourself. That counts. D. Nicoletti says, my win is just trying to resist vices and get into the mentality of all things in moderation. Yep. The all or nothing mentality. I fought that beast before as well, where maybe you have a little junky junk and you're like, okay. But then you're like, ooh, I guess the french fries weren't that bad. But I'm also going to have a soda now. Ooh, maybe a little dessert. And then it kind of feels like, well, the day's kind of ruined. But no. A little bit counts. Maybe the french fries are what you really wanted. Or maybe the fruit drink or the soda is what you really wanted. So you kind of pick and have to pace yourself and realize, what did you really want? And when you actually do those things, small wins, they count. So yeah, not giving up on yourself, taking care of yourself, actively doing better by you, treating yourself as you should be treated, and doing your best. Obviously, not everybody can do all the things at once, but doing your best. Maybe just, even 1% better a day, making sure you did pack those crackers or a little fruit snack, preferably a healthy fruit snack, like a little pear or apple or something. But hey, you do you. Those little things that could count. Like, that's better than eating a whole bag of chips, I guess. Little tweaks still matter, still plot. Maybe, yeah, maybe you got some more naps in or got better sleep, realizing that maybe you were underslept. No, that's not. I don't think, is that a word? Maybe you weren't getting enough rest, and then letting yourself rest instead of pushing yourself to keep going, and realize, what, those boxes can be moved tomorrow. And I may be speaking from experience, as if you kept up, one of my sisters and her daughter have recently moved into our home. So there aren't boxes in our house right now. And your girl likes to do all or nothing and think she can do it. I can do it. And then I realized halfway through, that was too much. But then I'm like, well, I got to finish the job. I can't just leave all these boxes in the middle of the living room. And then I do that. And then I'm like, oh, my back hurts. And then the next day my back also hurts. And then I'm really tired. And then I'm like, why am I so tired? So yeah, it's also learning your own boundaries, learning what you're capable of mentally and physically, and learning how to pace yourself and, still applaud yourself when you do the thing proper, but also let yourself some grace and rest when you didn't do your best or what was best for you. So you gotta take that into account and just be like, it's okay. It's okay. We're learning, we're growing, we're doing this together, right? So I guess depending on what your vice is or what your small win may be, the small resistance you put, survival doesn't always feel celebratory in the moment, right? It just feels like you're doing the bare minimum, or you're making it through, or it was just one tiny thing. But it's always good to take a step back and remember life is a journey. It's many, many days. So even one day, one time counts in the grand scheme of things, of making things a habit and slowly but surely processing them and doing your best. Danielle states, building a relationship with myself and then learning to do right by me has been a hard journey. Yeah. I think even with capitalist culture, American culture, hustle culture, I don't know what to call it, but all the cultures in that regard where it's more like pushing yourself, that you're not, there's a putting morality on things like, oh, well, you need to just try more, do better, be self-disciplined. To a certain extent, true, but to a certain extent, not true, depending on how you're raised, where you are right now, where your body is right now, other issues you may have. So instead of being as simple as you're just being lazy, it could be a whole cascade of other things that you personally have to take into account, and then foundationally, step by step, do best by you and actually learn what works for you, what your actual goals are, what your actual values are, and who or where you're trying to go and who you're trying to become. Yeah. So yeah, building a relationship with yourself. You're going to be with yourself for a very long time. So you probably should have a really good relationship with yourself. So I think with it, the saying goes, like, we bend, but we don't break. Oh, Danielle said, our culture made it seem like we needed to do it all at our own expense. Yes. And then they don't give free healthcare. Yeah, like, not getting enough sleep is fine. Keep working. Keep forcing your body to do what you want. You want it to do. Ignore that fatigue. Ignore the need for this type of food or all this stuff. And then it's like, but no free healthcare. I personally live in California, so we at least have Medi-Cal. So it's something. But yeah, weird. So going back to, I think, we bend, but we don't break. Maybe this year you did break, or maybe this year the bend was real strong. But what didn't break for you this year? Or what bent real hard for you this year? Write in the comments or in the chat, let me know. If something really tested you this year, like you didn't know if you were going to break, or maybe you did, and that's okay. Maybe you bent real hard and you're like, wow, that was rough. put it in the chat or put in the comments and let me know. I would love to hear the thoughts. I think for me, now that it's primarily over with, like 98% over with. Back in November when my YouTube channel went dark for a while, and if you were following me then, you've seen on like the community post or my Instagram, just giving everyone a heads up that nope, no live right now. Nope, we're still in a flux. I had a SIM swap attack, and that made me realize that the system does not hold, that it is that easy for people, not even depending on who your wireless carrier is. It really is that easy for things to go down and you to have no real protection. Like the most, oh, we'll give you a new number, but what about all the other things that all attach to the numbers? If you know about like social media stuff, to bank stuff, to health, like doctor visits and things like that, a lot of things are tied to your number, emails, things like whew. So yeah, I think I discussed it with my husband, and I was like, it's pretty much like the reality of the system, just to be frank, is that we're all just a bunch of like gazelles, and you're just hoping that whatever the lions that are the predators just don't notice you on the peripheral or you out in the crowd. Like that was the reality of like dealing with carriers and trying to figure stuff out, was just like, wow, this happens, and it's just like, wow, that sucks to be you. And it's just like, yeah, you just gotta deal with the fallout and do your best. So that's crazy. D. Nicolette states cybersecurity is some scary shit. Yeah. I was like, wow. Unless you have a team of people who like can just, en masse go and do all your stuff for you, it's real. Like figuring out what's what and like stopping things from happening, it gets wild. So yeah, that was we bend but we don't break. It was rough. And he says we rely too heavily on an unstable system. Yeah, that's when I realized that the system doesn't hold. Like there's a lot of like, we're all just duct tape and sticky notes stuck together. Like like it was a real eye-opening, like just absurd that us as normal everyday people, like on a real note, yeah, we are just in a like paper canoe. So yeah, that is what didn't break me this year. I guess didn't. I bent because it was just like, what? And took a pause and then, reevaluated things, moved stuff around for sure, figured things out. And then we came back and we just started up again. So yeah, let me know in the chat if anything like that has occurred to you. Not particularly the SIM swap thing, because yeah, but something really bent you this year, or almost, or did break you this year, things like that. So yeah, let me know. Take a moment to breathe, because even talking about it gets me all fired up, where I'm like, oh my gosh. Like good luck everybody else. So let's move on to a little bit of a fun thing. I think not last week, we didn't have a little live last week, but the week before we did a little like loot chest thing option, and I was thinking we could try that again this week, but just a little different. So we got option A, B, or C. Now we can go through all these if you're very interested, but just something small, a little like depending on what the audience you chat picks. We'll go into like a little light interactive moment. I don't know what to call it, but we'll figure out better ways to say these. So A, B, or C? Okay, we have an A. Okay. Any other suggestions? Or I personally, let's see what we're looking at. I'm a little partial to B, but just because I like the path. That's interesting. But so far we have A. Go with C. Okay, let me put okay, so I shouldn't choose B, because so far we'll just be stuck with all three of them. But hey, I can do all three of them. Um, Danielle says, I'm not sure what this means. It was more just a vibe and a little interactive moment. Like not last week, the week before, I added in like little chests and crates so we can kind of not gamify it, but kind of explore things in a little interactive way to make it a little interesting. So it's more like the vibe or the feeling you're going with will be something we're going to more discuss. But since we all seem to be on the A, B, and C, let's just go through them since we have plenty of time and we're just being chill. And yeah. So if we had chosen, I'm looking at my stuff over here because we had chosen option A. Name one thing you did this year that nobody clapped for, but it mattered. Maybe you didn't share it with anybody. Maybe you didn't share it with anybody. Maybe it was no one's business. But hey, if you'd like, share it with us. Let us know what it was. I'm trying to think of one, and I'm gonna share one in the chat. Name one thing you did this year that nobody clapped for, but it mattered. Maybe it just mattered to you. I am going to stay. Starting the YouTube. Okay. Glad I did not just send that because I did not. Your girl does not have the typing skills. So mine is starting this YouTube channel in earnest. I've had this channel for like a few years now. There's different niche categories of videos that are up because I was just, doing my best, whatever interested me at the time, but also, doing my best with it. So they're not full garbage. They're just, partial garbage. But this year, back in September, I decided, let's do it. And how do I figure out the friction of getting myself to upload things, to work on them regularly, because video editing takes so long. And then so I decided lives. Now, lives are nerve-wracking because they're live. And from a girl, a person, a human being who has had social anxiety since they were like 8 years old, I was like, no, it's time to put myself out there and talk about things and connect with others. Thank you, people. Thanks, chat, for being there. So back in September, we started doing the lives. We ended up doing Tuesday lives and discussions. That's where we are now. And then usually Thursday game nights. This week will be on a Friday instead of a Thursday. But yeah, Thursday game nights just to chill and have a more fun time, time to relax, and time to just, enjoy a game together. And so yeah, that's what I started this year. Didn't expect anybody to clap for it. That'd be kind of weird. Danielle states anytime. Thank you. So it's more just me doing something in earnest for myself, how I've always wanted to get myself out there in some regard. And I was like, we're doing it. And then that's why in November, when all the sim swappy attackiness happened and like YouTube and all that is attached to emails, phone numbers, all that good stuff, it hit real hard because I had finally started doing something. It was like 2 months, every day, Tuesday live, 7 p.m., Thursday game night, 7 p.m. And I was getting into a rhythm, and I was going to get an video editor coming in and doing stuff. And then bam, that happened. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. But I think that really bent me, like really showed like how much are you willing to fight for this kind of thing. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, we're going to keep going. Luckily, I have my partner, my husband, who was like, no, this is something you really wanted to keep doing. And this was some BS of like, why? Why did they do this? But yeah, so it was eye-opening in a systemic way of learning and realizing how everything really works. And it's held together by glue and paper clips. But also in a real way of learning what I actually value. And yes, this is something I want to do going forward. Yeah. So anything, chat, that you've done this year that really was like, no one clapped, no one necessarily needed to, but it's something that happened, it mattered to you, and it was important? Let me know. I would love to hear it. Yeah, I'll give you some time. But yeah, I would love to hear it. I'm gonna just put little hearts for myself in the chat. So yeah, getting in front of the camera, having it be live. 1, can't procrastinate because I'm live, it's happening. 2, I can't all or nothing it or go overachieving mode of trying to do more. because it's happiness live, I have to actually understand what I'm capable of. And like I said, this little putting little images on the screen, the little the journal, things like that, images, is something that it's a process we're learning together. So thank you for showing up and being here and learning with me. So when there's little hiccups or things may go a little wonky, I'm like, I don't know either. D. Nicoletti says, I guess, oot, my memory is terrible. Okay. All right. I respect that. I guess oot. That's still throwing me off because I don't know what you're trying to say there, bro. But it mattered. You tried. That's important. Okay. So we will be moving onward. Actually, I just realized this little thing is a little low on this end. So there we go. I fixed it. See, we're learning together. I guess not. Yeah. Danielle stated, I also can't think of a time. I know I've been working on limiting beliefs and feel more myself than ever in my life, and that's pretty amazing. Yeah, self-growth. I love some self-growth. Self-growth. So yeah, cool. Limiting beliefs. Yeah. Oh, it's rough out there, especially things growing up, the social anxiety issue since like 8 years old. One of the things now as an adult, 35-year-old, grown ass woman, unpacking some of that stuff and realizing what was me, what was other people's expectations, but what kind I decided may have contributed to the social anxiety or maybe not have helped, develop the self-confidence and things like that. But growing up, for sure, it was greatly encouraged to be, actually not really to be seen, not heard. It would like to be invisible as a child. Like don't cause a ruckus, don't, cause anybody a headache, don't have them worry about you. You got this. So yeah. So I think the limiting beliefs in that regard of just being like quiet, unassuming, and I guess not letting your needs be known. That's something now as an adult. I'm like, okay. I do have needs. And it's important for them to be known, especially you're married, you have a family, you have children. Boundaries are important. What you need is important. And to also put that into perspective and prioritize what you need. I also learned that the super hard way in my early 30s when my beautiful daughter was born. It was just me and her hanging out. So there was a lot of like, oh no, I was anxious, super anxious. So I was like, nope, can't go to the bathroom. What if something happens? Well, no, I'm not going to bring her into the bathroom with me because I don't want her in the bathroom with me because that's my boundary. And then being like, oh, I need to go get water, but then I have to go in the other room. That's that's 10 seconds. What if something happens? I know. That's how my brain worked. Still kind of does work, but I have to be like, shh, it's okay. And so things like that. So I would be pretty much, my husband would get home. I would be sleep deprived because I would also be sleeping with her. I think in the beginning with her in my arms. So I learned to stay very still. And also not fully asleep because I was on watch mode pretty much. And then as she got older, still listening for her when she cried or things like that, or emergency, what's going to happen? So, growing on like 4 hours of sleep and then not eating all day, being dehydrated all day. So I learned pretty hard that you don't do that to yourself. Priorities matter because your body will take a big nosedive. And the reality of like I have PCOS, I have other issues and things like that, hormonal. We suffered from adrenal axis dysfunction stuff, cortisol rhythm issues. Like the ship was going down. So I learned the real hard way of like you can't do that for a long time, for months. So learning to take care of yourself, learning that your needs and priorities matter. Looking back at limiting beliefs of who you think you are, but who you actually want to be, and what like. I think there was an analogy or metaphor. I don't know the difference between them. Let me know in the chat if there is a difference and you know it, or in the comments. But it was the analogy or metaphor of putting on like other people gave you a coat or a hat or boots, and you just kept layering them on. But maybe you don't even like that coat. Maybe that's not even the color you enjoy, or even the fabric feels off. But you just keep wearing it because someone else gave it to you. If you have 3 coats on, and that's absurd, or like 2 hats and you don't need 2 hats. So you got to like start unpacking all that and realizing like you don't need that, you don't need this, and like this was always uncomfortable for you, so that's not needed anymore. Be it a personality trait, be it an idea of who you thought you were going to be. Maybe like parents wanted you to be XYZ and you're like, I don't like any of that. And you realized maybe after you got your degree or maybe after you married the right person, possibly the right person and things like that, you realize this may not be me. This may be someone else's whole hat or whole life. So yeah. Okay, and then option B. We're gonna call this like the still here scale, the thriving and possibly surviving, but still thriving scale. On a scale of 1 to 10, how proud are you of yourself for making it through the year? Like, you could put in the chat, I'll put in the chat. For making it through the year, one, I have a problem with scales. My scales are always lower than what they should be or what normal people would put. So I'm gonna try to think of my actual 1 to 10 where I think I am, but then raise that up a few notches, and you can kind of guesstimate where I probably put myself in reality, but so I can be more in line with what is the actual normal scale. I am going to put 5. Ooh, Danielle said a 10. Go girl, you doing it. Yeah, so I put a 5, like neutral, proud. Like, all right, we're doing so. It probably should be an 8. Like I said, I started a YouTube channel. We're doing it. Showing up, doing live discussions, playing games, learning how to YouTube channel, and doing all this stuff. But yeah, so maybe it should be an 8. But I put 5 because I need to learn to celebrate the small wins, what we were discussing earlier. And I need to personally learn how to do that. So it's something I'm still working on. Like a lot of us, we grow, we learn. It's a continuous journey. It's not like one day, bam, you get there. It's a process, and that's okay. We're learning, take it day by day. So yeah, I guess my number is the lowest number. But yeah, Danielle said a 10. That's awesome. That's amazing. I'm proud of you for being proud of yourself. And then option C. What are you not taking with you going into 2026? What's one pressure, maybe belief or expectation you're letting stay in 2025? It will not be going on your carry-on luggage to 2026. I'm trying to think of that. Let's see. What's something I'm leaving behind in 2025? I'm just like, that's not my coat. I don't need that one. Or that's not my hat. I don't need that. I think something. It's always going to be a process. That's what I have to remember. It's always going to be a process. I think the all or nothing mentality. Something I've been kind of repeating to myself a lot the past few days, either in conversation with my husband or just in general conversation when explaining something, even to myself, because I talk to myself for sure, is some is better than none. Yeah, that's like the phrasing. Some is better than none. And that's something I think if you're doing video editing, if you're doing YouTube, creating videos, or doing some creative form of art, be it actual drawing, comics, things like that, some is better than none. We can always have ideas in our head and things we want to come into fruition, but then we may not do them because we want them to look or be a certain way, and the point is getting it out there. D. Nicoletti says, being too hard on myself and thinking everything is my fault. Self-blame, that's a rough one, buddy. But yeah, and I think part of it is first identifying the problem. Like if there's an issue or something, it's identifying. That's being aware. So self-awareness, being aware is one of the main things. Yeah. Awesome. Self-growth, understanding. Forgot what I was talking about. Anybody in the chat remind me of what I was talking about? It's fine. Thoughts leave and it's okay. Well, the some or none mentality, like all or nothing mentality. Danielle says, choosing my dreams no matter how scary. I no longer want to make it a habit to neglect myself and enjoying my life. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of us, depending on how you grew up, survival mode, it's hard to get out of that even if you're technically out of it, that mindset is days. Like maybe you don't buy yourself the nicer lotion or the coat, or things like that, because you still have lotion or coat or whatever. Someone else gave you something. And then also goes into prioritizing, you realize I don't care about lotion or like I want like maybe you end up realizing that buying that cute like ceramic mug or that one bowl is something that really makes you feel better. So learning values, priorities, and enjoying life. I think there was something I read recently or watched, and it was talking about enjoying life. I think it goes back to like, was it J.R.R. Tolkien? When he created The Hobbit, he said that most people are hobbits. You want to have friends, good food, and a nice little like warm house, hole and Hobbiton like to go back to in the evening. You don't want to worry about trying to make as much money as possible or work. You work for food, sure, you like their gardening and doing those type of things or like daily stuff, but then they have like get together with friends and families regularly, and that most people are hobbits. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure he created The Hobbit after World War One, so he had seen war. And most sane people don't want to go to war, right? They don't want necessarily all the power, they don't want all the money or the prestige. They want to be a hobbit. And that's what I think he stated, like most people are hobbits. So I think part of being a hobbit is enjoying your life. And that if money isn't your main goal, prestige, power, is finding the little things, the small wins, and the little indulgences in life, your priorities, your values, what really makes life worth living. And I think that's really important for a lot of us to, in this world, how culturally they always, hustle and bustle and try to get you to go after this thing, the bigger house, newer car, side hustle, make more money, all these things. Now, it's fine if you want to do that, but make sure you know why you want to do that, not just gaining or getting more, but if there's a reason, say you have a large family and you're like, I want to provide for my large family, then that totally makes sense. Like you're not side hustling or trying to get a bigger, newer car because for funsies, it's really like, no, we currently have a 4-seater. We have 8 of us. We need 8-seater car. Stuff like that. Or no, we do need a bigger house because it's really upsetting that my kids are like 3 of them sharing one room, stuff like that. So it's about values and priorities and figuring that out. And so, yeah. Yes, Danielle, awesome. Enjoying life. And then Danielle also stated, I indeed am a hobbit. Yes. Like a t-shirt, Hobbit and proud. Yeah, I think I too am a hobbit. Just want to hang out in our hobbit hole and be nice and cozy. The world can come to me when they want to visit. Other than that, I will reach out through the lovely internet here and be like, hey, sup? Yeah. Boo, boo, doo, boo. Sorry, I have a song in my head, and I probably shouldn't sing it too much because you two may be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What did you just sing? Yeah, I think if anybody has anything out they would love to share, I'm all ears. But yeah, I don't think any of us, you don't technically like need to reinvent yourself like January 1st, New Year's, all that good stuff. It's more about, I guess, prioritizing values, making small changes, little tweaks, things that you probably need to get to. And if New Year's resolution of sorts helps you, then cool. If it doesn't, chill. But I think learning to go at your own pace and do your best and, values and priorities, huge things for most people to figure them out so you can kind of know why you're going in the direction you're going. But yeah, I think in either way, like you're always allowed to rest. I think that's something I also learned, small wins. My body is not where I would like it to be. It's not where it should be. I know I need to kind of change that mentality because it is what it is. But I still try to push myself on days when I probably shouldn't, physically, mentally, emotionally. I'm like, no, we could do it. And then it's like, girl, you couldn't do it. But luckily, I have a lovely spouse that supports me in all my positives and my negatives. I have a lovely daughter who I'm helping grow, and she's helping me grow and learn and to take care of each other. But learning that rest is allowed before anything else. You don't have to earn rest. I'm a firm believer in that it was a saying, it was something like on Instagram, a reel or post, and it was saying that the term earn a living implies or makes the assumption that we all don't deserve to live just on our own merit of being alive. And I was like, huh, that hit something. So yeah, so be a hobbit. Like, do you, boo. Earning a living, obviously how this world works, there are certain levels of what that may mean to you. Like it may mean living in a very comfortable house. So of course you're going to work like, 40 plus hours a week because you're like, I want to be very comfortable. So that is your priority and that's your value. Cool. You learned that. There may be others who be like, maybe just 15 hours is enough. What if I move in with my sister? What if I move in with my brother? What if I live with my cousins and we're all cool with that? Or friends that we're all cool with just being roommates well into our 30s. And then enjoy your life, live your life, learn the priorities. And I'm a firm believer in that we don't need to earn a living. If you're alive right now, you're here. Things should be not simplified, but you don't have to earn your keep of being alive and show that you're worth living. Like you're alive, you're here, you have value. Yeah. I feel like my camera is a little blurry. Let me know if it looks a little blurry to you. It might just be me thinking it looks blurry. So, if all you did this year was survive, maybe you didn't thrive as much as you wanted to. Still counts. Or maybe you did thrive and you're like, I am thriving. I think I've been learning that these past 2 weeks. Winter break in my beautiful daughter's home, and she is thriving and living her best life. Like just seeing her chill and that she just loves hanging out with me, and then seeing her on her little tablet with a little leg up, dangling and just like chilling. I'm just like, wow, girl, you do you. You're doing great. Maybe a little smudged. Yeah, I feel like there's something, but I don't want to mess with it because I did that one time when I was I think gaming, and then I messed up my camera and I just had to take it off, and it was just my voice the whole time. Don't mess with it. So yeah, you don't need a breakthrough or huge achievement to be worthy of rest. Take rest when you need, as yeah, no clarity needed in that. It's just rest when needed. And I think that's something I also struggled with, knowing that, yes, go lay down, girl. Like you don't need to earn your rest. You don't need to earn peace. It is a given. It is like that is a human right to be able to rest when needed. Danielle states, I don't think I'm thriving, but I'm making way for that to be a possibility in the future. Yep. If you're building to something, maybe you have the priorities, maybe you have goals and values. So at least you know the direction you're headed, like feeling you're headed in the right direction. So yeah. So yeah, I'm feeling good going into 2026. Like, I'm not sure what's gonna be happening or what's gonna happen like YouTube channel wise. I'm still gonna do, Tuesdays 7 p.m. discussions live, Thursdays game night 7 p.m. also live. Some Friday game uploads when I realize I need to get an editor, a video editor, because that's a little rough on my body. you know, maybe I need to get the standing desk because sitting down for longer periods of time, meaning more than 40 minutes at a time, everything starts hurting and it feels terrible. But that's the process of we're learning together, we're growing. So maybe share in the chat something you did learn this year, maybe about yourself, maybe about others, maybe about life. I learned, I'm gonna type something in the chat. Which may take me a while because your girl has the worst typing fingers ever. That's why I tend to just talk. So I learned the system doesn't hold or is held up by, is it duct tape or duct tape? I think there's both brands. Duct tape and, ooh, I think I spelled everything correctly. If I didn't, well, it's gone. Duct, yeah. But I think there is I did this one time when I was at like Target or something, and there is a brand of duct tape called duct tape. One brand. So, all right, yeah. So we're still just chilling, and this is more relaxing. That not everything is my fault. That's a big one. Yeah. Sometimes people have self-blame. That's a lot to put on one's shoulders, I think, to put it as it's all your own fault. That's a lot. But yeah, marionette strings. So yeah, that's something I learned for sure. I forgot what the original question was. Yeah. So for funsies, let me know in the chat. Anybody have any I'll say holiday plans? We already did the holidays. That was yeah. New Year's Eve plans. I personally am staying home. I'm really excited about that one. Staying home, chilling, having a good time. But I think we're gonna call this live a little short and sweet one. I think we discussed some really good things. Taking a load off of being like we made it through another year. Some of us survived, some of us thrived. Either way, we learned, we grew. We're gonna keep moving forward. So I think we'll figure out what's next together, slowly but surely. Thank you all for being here with me. I enjoyed it immensely. I love the connection. I love discussing these things with all of you. I love when you respond in the chat. It really helps. And I love, even if you respond in the comments later after the live, you watch it, you have a commentary, you have 2 cents, you have something you want to answer, go for it. Like, I will read the comment. I will most likely respond because I read these comments. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you liked this live, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next Tuesday. I don't know what we're discussing, but I have it in a calendar somewhere. And I will also see you not Thursday game night, Friday game night. Well, we will be playing Coffee Talk Part 2. It's still episode 1, Coffee Talk. So we'll have fun. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at Angela and then some. That is where I post a lot of updates on updates and clips of things. Usually on my stories that you give the day of or the day before, updates on lives, or if anything's postponed or something funny, stuff like that. Behind the scenes may show up there. And then yeah. So hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for being here with me once again. Oh, you're welcome, Danielle. Yay! And I'll see you all next time.